Good evening and welcome to the October 18th, 2017 legislative session of the Town Board. And tonight I'd ask that everyone rise for the pledge. We have three very special guests tonight, Lawson, Lilly, and Jordan, that are going to lead us. And when you're ready, we'll take our lead from you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll hear a little bit more from these three. Thank you very much for kicking us off this evening. Tonight I'm going to start off to recognize our great Penfield Public Library. And we have Bernadette Brinkman, who is with us, our librarian. I'm going to ask that she please come forward. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Linda Cole to go to the podium, and we can present a proclamation.
Good evening. I am liaison to the library board, so I see our library director on a regular basis. We just had a meeting Tuesday night, and she's here tonight. I know she always supports us on the budget, but it also happens to be National Friends of the Library Week, October 15th to the 21st. So I shall read the resolution. Whereas the Friends of the Penfield Public Library raise money that enables our libraries to move from good to great, providing the resources for additional programming, much-needed equipment, support for children's summer reading, and special events throughout the year. And whereas the work of the Friends highlights on an ongoing basis the fact that our library is the cornerstone of the community, providing opportunities for all to engage in the joy of lifelong learning and connect with the thoughts and ideas of others from ages past to present. And whereas the Friends understand the critical importance of well-funded libraries and advocate to ensure that our library gets the resources it needs to provide a wide variety of services to all ages, including access to print, electronic material, along with expert assistance in research, readers advisory, and children's services. And whereas the Friends' gift of their time, commitment to the library set an example for all, and volunteerism lead to positive civic engagement in the betterment of our community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that R. Anthony LaFountain, the supervisor, proclaims October 15th to 21st, 2017 as Friends of the Library Week in Penfield, New York, and urges everyone to join the Friends of the Library and thank them for all they do to make our library and community so much better. And this is dated October 18th, 2017. It is signed by our town supervisor, R. Anthony LaFountain. And I'd like to give this to you. Thank you. And do you have any comments that you'd like to? Please do.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't say a few words.
Well, thank you, Mr. Supervisor and members of the board, for recognizing our friends. They work very hard all year long to put on an annual book sale that raises all the money that fund our programming. And that programming is at the level that this community deserves because of the proceeds of that book sale and the work of the Friends. So we very much appreciate their work. It would be hard for us to do our work without them, and I'm sure they will very much appreciate this and feel honored. We will place it in a position of prominence in our library.
Thank you, Bunny. And
Thanks,
I'd like to say that the leadership of the Penfield Library is in great hands with you as the librarian, and we appreciate everything that you do in support of the library for Penfield and many patrons that come from outside of Penfield to our library. That's because true. It is recognized as one of the better or best library in the library system here in Monroe County. So congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you very much.
Right. Very good. Thanks. All right, so as I don't get into trouble with my town clerk, I skipped over the roll call, and I'll ask her to please do the roll call, and we'll move on to the next great event here in the auditorium tonight.
Okay. Cole.
Here.
LaFountain.
Here.
Metzler.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
And Quinn is absent.
All right, thank you very much. So the next event there's some special individuals in the audience. We heard from them with a Pledge of Allegiance, and we thank them and their families for being here tonight. And we'll make sure that we get you out so that you can get back and either spend some time at the library that's so good in the community, or make sure you have your homework done for tomorrow so that you don't use us as an excuse for not getting it done. So, Mr. Moore reminds me of the Yankees game too, so for those of you that are Yankee fans. So at this time, I would like to recognize the Penfield Fire Company, Chief Earl. I also ask that Councilwoman Paula Metzler join Chief Earl at the podium, and they have a few remarks to make. And Chief, if you would like to start that off on behalf of the great Penfield Fire District.
Thanks for having us tonight. I would like to say that this Saturday, we're going to have an equipment show in the Wegmans parking lot down on Penfield Road. It'll be from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. So if you can come out and support the volunteers, we'd appreciate it. Come down, ask questions, see all the equipment that we have, and meet the volunteers.
Excellent, excellent. So this is part of Fire Prevention Week and all the
Yes.
great things that all of your members do each and every day, and all volunteer membership at Penfield Fire Company.
We are 100% volunteer.
So you do a lot to protect the interest of Penfield, and we thank you for everything that you do, not only for our community, but supporting the communities as part of the mutual aid system adjacent to us. So thank all of your members.
Well, thank you, and you're welcome.
All right, very good. And so we have some special guests here, Councilwoman Metzler?
I think they've got something they're going to read for us, too, I believe.
Oh, that's
Looks like there's-
even more special.
Are there essays? Do you have your essays? Good. Each year, there is an essay contest during Fire Safety Month, I believe.
Yes.
And Penfield has historically had a good showing in this essay contest, and this year is no exception. So I would like to recognize on behalf of the town of Penfield and the town board our 3 winners. And what I will do is recognize them individually, and after I recognize you, if you want to come up and read your essay, then we can all share in congratulating you on your fine work this year for Fire Safety Month. The first individual is Lawson Drabik. Lawson is the 2016 Fire Safety Essay winner, 6th place for the 5th grade of Monroe County, and 1st place in 5th grade for Western New York. And your hard work and dedication is a shining example to those around you. The Penfield Town Board congratulates you and thanks you for your time and commitment for your community. Pardon me? Oh,
Lawson was first. Yep,
yeah.
first place, 5th grade.
First place in 5th grade for Western New York? Are these? Yeah. Lawson, are you Lawson? Okay, I just want to make sure we got the certificate right. Just reading off the certificate, because we'd have to do those over again. Come on up, Lawson.
And I'll just say that in Monroe County alone, we had over 1,200 applicants for this. Wow. And Western New York is 12 counties.
So that's, and over 5,000 or more than 5,000 total entries, if I recall.
That's correct.
Yes, so that's, it's pretty special. So Lawson, there's that microphone, there you go. The chief will help you so that we can hear that big booming voice.
Okay. Don't wait, check the date. Replace smoke alarms every 10 years. A smoke alarm is an electric device that sends out a signal when it detects smoke. Francis Robbins Upton conducted research in 1890 that began the process leading to the development of the first smoke alarm. Research continued through the 1920s and 1930s, but it was not developed until the early 1940s. At the time, heat detectors were used to detect fires. Interest in smoke alarms did not become significant until a fire at Our Lady of Angels School in 1958. A total of 95 people lost their lives in the fire. The severity of this tragedy led to major improvements in fire safety. Today's smoke alarms work by sounding a very loud alarm which could even wake a person from their sleep. They are essential for fire protection of people and property. This is because if we did not have smoke alarms, then many times we would not realize that there was a fire burning until it would be too late. Also, smoke alarms have saved countless lives of people, pets, property, and possessions. I had the opportunity to interview former chief and 21-year member of the Penfield Volunteer Fire Department, Jeff Withall. First, I asked him why he thinks smoke alarms are important. Mr. Withall said, "It is a proven fact that smoke alarms save lives." He stated over half of the deaths caused by fires occurred in the 5% that did not have smoke alarms. When asked if he has had an experiment where a smoke alarm has saved a person's life, Mr. Withall said, "Absolutely. Oftentimes the fire starts where people aren't. The alarm is activated and the people were able to safely exit their home." When asked to clarify, he said many times fires were able to have started in the basement and when the people were upstairs. Mr. Withall also commented that fires double their size every 30 seconds and can quickly get out of control. So smoke alarms are critical to warn people quickly to the danger. Why should you replace smoke alarms every 10 years? According to the National Fire Protection Association's NFPA, the Fire Alarm and Signaling Code, it is required that smoke alarms must be replaced within 10 years. They should not be used for longer than 10 years. Mr. Withall answered this by saying, "Like anything, smoke alarms are subject to fail as well. The components that sense smoke can be damaged over time. Things such as dust, cobwebs, and humidity can ruin those sensors which activate the alarm. Many smoke alarms these days have 10 batteries built into them and they can't be changed. In these cases, if there's no power, they would also fail." NFPA says that properly working smoke alarms play an important role in reducing fire deaths and injuries. Working smoke alarms cut the chances of dying in a fire in half. All in all, fire alarms must be replaced every 10 years or else they may not work, but they still save lives no matter what.
Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget your certificate. There we go. All right. Excellent, excellent job.
Next up, we have Lilly Husband, 2016 Fire Safety Essay winner, second place for the 5th grade in Monroe County, and also second place for the 5th grade in Western New York. Come on up, Lilly.
Don't wait, check the date. Replace smoke alarms every 10 years. It's 12 o'clock and your house is on fire, but your smoke alarm didn't go off, and you're still asleep. How are you going to get out of your house? That's why it's so important to change your smoke alarm batteries twice a year and change your smoke alarm 10 years after it was made. Smoke alarms should be in every bedroom or hallway, including your basement. If you do install smoke alarms in your basement, they should be on the ceiling at the bottom of the stairs leading to the next level. Most fire deaths happen in homes with no smoke alarms or alarms that don't work. People with larger homes should have more smoke alarms throughout the house. There are two kinds of smoke alarms: ionization, which are quicker to warn about flaming fires, and photoelectric smoke alarms, which are quicker to warn about smoldering fires. It is usually best to have both types of smoke alarms in your house. It's better to choose smoke alarms that have the label of a recognized testing laboratory. Smoke alarms should be installed at least 10 feet from a cooking appliance to minimize false alarms when cooking. I hope everybody puts serious consideration in smoke alarms and fire safety.
And finally, we have Jordan Dawson, 2016 Fire Safety winner, essay winner, 6th place for the 5th grade of Monroe County. Come on up.
Don't wait, check the date. Replace smoke alarms every 10 years. Fire prevention is important because in case accidents happen, you and your home will be fully prepared. 3 out of 5 home fire deaths in 2009 to 2013 were caused by fires in homes with no smoke alarms or not working smoke alarms. By frequently checking your smoke alarms, you'll have a better chance of safety of you and your home in case of a fire. Cooking equipment was the leading cause of home fires and home fire injuries. Home fires are more likely to start in the kitchen than on any other room in the home. Because of the people leaving their cooking unattended, you should never leave cooking food alone. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or boiling food. If you have to leave the kitchen, turn off the stove. Because families may have as little as 2 minutes to get out of their house once a fire starts, smoke alarms provide the warning that people in the house need to escape. Properly installed and maintained smoke alarms are one of the best and least expensive ways of providing a warning of a fire. Having a non-functioning smoke alarm is just as dangerous as not having a smoke alarm at all. Smoke alarms should definitely be installed on every level of the home. They should be tested every month just to be sure they're working properly and replaced every 10 years. Smoke alarms don't last forever. In conclusion, having a working smoke detector is essential to the safety and well-being of every home.
Awesome, and I have to, of course, thank the parents for supporting our talented writers, and once again, bringing pride to Penfield and the fire essay contest, and thank you, of course, again, to our Penfield Fire Company for all you do, and for supporting our youngsters in the community as well in this contest every year. Well, thank you.
So I might ask, would you three be willing to share copies of that so we could put it on our website? Because the 3 messages that you provided this evening are some messages that probably need to be heard by a lot of people across this community. And you've done it in such a great job. It would be wonderful if we could put it up on our website. Everyone could see it and learn from it, and you could help be part of that education. So if we could do that, if we could get copies either from the Penfield Fire Company or from you, we'll make sure we get those up on the website. Excellent. Thank you very much. And Chief, I would say it's safe to say that these 3 really represent everything that you try to preach each and every day in fire service for our community. And I think they've really captured some wonderful thoughts.
Yes, I'd like to commend you on your essays. Awesome job. I encourage you to continue your research on fire prevention and participate again next year.
Excellent. Great job. And I think it's important to note, so we talked about 2016, but there are so many essays that come in that have to be reviewed. The essays, I believe, prepared in 16, and then everything's awarded the following year, in this case 17. But keep up the great work, and thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for making the commitment to write that essay. It's just fantastic. And if we can get them up on our website, that's what I'd like to do, because I think it's just some great work by the 3 of you. Now, I know that town government and town meetings are so stimulating that everybody fights to get a seat here in the auditorium. But we also understand that homework kind of comes first, and maybe the Yankee game and some other things. So you are welcome to stay for the entire meeting, but we also understand if you would like to go on to other activities in your lives. So thank you again, and let's see if we can get copies of those, and we'll get them up on the website as soon as we can. And thank you again for everything that you do. Enjoy the rest of your school year. All right, great job, guys, great job. Thank you very much. Great job. Yeah, thank you very much. or we can get a copy and get a copy back to you, or if you'd like to email it, that would be perfect. supervisor@penfield.org, and we will make sure we get them up on the website. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Absolutely. We'll move on to communications and announcements, and I will recognize our town clerk to start.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Join the Monroe County Vacant and Abandoned Property Task Force for the 2017 Home Fair. This is a free event that will be held this Saturday, October 21st, from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Gates Community Center, 1605 Buffalo Road. There will be local housing counselors available to provide one-on-one sessions, workshops on home ownership for selling and purchasing properties, workshops on tenant rights, and home rehabilitation, and other items such as those. For more information, please visit facebook.com/MC Vacant Property Task Force/events. This is in partnership with NeighborWorks Rochester and Empire Justice Center. Also, starting on Wednesday, November 1st, we will be selling town merchandise at holiday discount prices. The holiday sale merchandise can be purchased through the town clerk's office at 3100 Atlantic Avenue, right here, or at the Recreation Office located in 1985 Baird Road. For more information and to see what items are for sale and the discount prices, please visit the town website at www.penfield.org. Lastly, the Penfield Public Library will be closed on Sunday, October 22nd, for an automation system upgrade, and will reopen on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Metzler.
I have two announcements this evening. First, please take note that this week is National School Bus Safety Week. National School Bus Safety Week is a great opportunity to remind motorists to always exercise caution when school buses are stopped, children are boarding, or disembarking. This year's theme is Stop on Red. This message is to help heighten awareness of local stop arm laws and urges drivers to stop and wait and never pass a school bus from behind. For many great school bus safety tips, you can visit www.napt.org. A seasonal reminder from our Department of Public Works. Please remember that as the fall leaves begin to hit the ground, it's important to keep an eye on your gutters, yard inlets, and neighborhood catch basins to make sure leaves or other debris are not blocking the stormwater flow into the basins. If you are preparing your leaves for a contractor to pick up, please make sure to keep raked or blown piles within your yard, not in the gutter. Keeping the catch basins clear helps minimize flooding of your property and that of your neighbors. We thank our residents for their assistance in this. More information on the Department of Public Works is available on our town website at www.penfield.org. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Mr. Moore?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The annual Penfield Family Halloween event will be held at the Community Center on Friday, October 20th, this coming Friday. Enjoy the following free activities from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Games, trick-or-treat, hayrides, crafts, music, and more. For additional details on this annual event, please visit penfieldrec.org. Thank you.
Councilwoman Cole?
I have one announcement. The Penfield Players have announced performance dates for their fall thriller, Michael Hollinger's Red Herring. It's directed by Don Bartolo. Shows will be held for 3 weekends beginning October 27th at the Community Center on Baird Road. Curtain call will be at 8 p.m. with a matinee performance on Sunday, November 5th at 2 p.m. For tickets, visit penfieldplayers.org or call 340-8655 or purchase a ticket at the door the evening of the performance. Come enjoy Red Herring with the Penfield Players beginning October 27th. That's it.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to public participation. 2 opportunities at this time, and again at the end of the meeting. You can do that one of 3 ways. If you're here in the audience, you can address the board on any matter. You can give us a call, 340-8771, or you can log on at penfield.org, and we'll get a message right up front here. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the board? Ed Lindskog, 40 Willow Pond Way, Penfield, 14526. Good to see you, Ed.
That's going to be the topic of discussion tonight.
Good to see you.
Pardon?
Good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to be seen.
All right, good.
I have a new neighbor that some of you might be familiar with. His name is Tom Falk.
Tom Falk. We are familiar with Mr. Falk.
He's my immediately next door neighbor.
Excellent,
We've had a
excellent.
couple
Please
of-
give him our best.
I will do that. I had dinner with him this evening.
Excellent.
And I'd also like to thank our town highway staff for cleaning out a catch basin on behalf of Linda, and extend that to Eric for us. Last Sunday night, we had experienced a power failure at Willow Pond, and it exposed some deficiencies within the building that had probably been there, but were really exacerbated. The power was out for 4 hours. The emergency lights, some of which never came on, and some of which lasted a few minutes, most of them went out by the end of an hour and a half, and along with the exit lights, leaving the building in total darkness. One lady got stuck in the elevator. It took the fire company to come up and rescue her. So to address some of these deficiencies, the telephone system was down for 4 hours, and the emergency pull cord from each apartment system was down. So if anybody had had an emergency in any of the apartments, they wouldn't have been able to let office staff know down in the lobby. The backup generator didn't show up for 4 hours. We were promised, when we signed our leases, that an hour was going to be the limit. So any help from, I think the fire marshal did an excellent job in his inspection. I don't have a copy. I asked for a copy of his inspection. I don't know what's missing. We're going to do a fire drill next year, or next week, which we haven't done ever since I've been living there, with the fire company. That should prove interesting also. So any assistance we can get from the fire marshal's office or the town would be greatly appreciated, at least to be able to figure out how to supplement if people get in trouble when there's a blackout. And it could occur during the night, and they pull that cord and then nothing happens. Nobody would respond if somebody had a heart attack or something like that.
Right.
So right now, that's our problem.
Okay. So certainly Jeff David, our fire marshal, can assist where, we have any responsibility and things like that. And I'm guessing that the executive director there will be working with her senior management team on addressing some of those items that are really a private matter, but certainly any encouragement we can give them, we're willing to help you with that.
That'd be great. She talked about putting a flashlight in each apartment, which is great because some of them were missing. We also found today that some of the apartment doors that are supposed to be with a spring-loaded hinge, so they close automatically,
Yes.
are deficient. The springs are broken because of the age of the door. So,
Sure.
And I know that wasn't on the fire marshal's inspection report. The fire system stayed intact because it had a sufficient battery backup to keep it going, but all the other systems failed.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll certainly have Mr. David do what we can on our end, and certainly encourage them as private owners to make sure that they're making that facility as safe as it can possibly be.
I gave Jim Costello's business card to Michelle, but she didn't see it necessary to call him yet.
Yeah,
So,
got it.
Maybe
you get a call tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, Linda was over there Sunday, so she experienced some of the blackout because we finished the euchre tournament in the darkness.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So is there any concern about who won? The lights went out and,
No, they had the prizes all distributed.
All right, so they had them all right. Well, good. We want to make sure that there's no other funny business going on over there, so, okay.
I don't think, and I'll give my regards to Tom when I see him next.
Okay, please do that. Please
will do
let
that.
them know we're asking about them.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ed.
Yep.
Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to address the board on any matter? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to additions and deletions to the agenda. Seeing no additions or deletions, we have two sets of minutes. I'll call for the first set, September 6, 2017, and will entertain a motion of approval for those minutes.
I move that the minutes of September 6th be approved.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole.
Aye.
The Fountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
4 ayes.
And we have the September 27th, 2017 minutes before us. I would entertain a motion of approval for those.
I'll move for approval of the September 27th minutes.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Again, any discussion? Seeing no discussion, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
4 ayes.
All right, our next item at petitions. Has the town board, town clerk, or town attorney received any petitions since our last gathering? Okay, seeing none, move on to resolution by function, starting with law and finance, please.
Adoption of final budgets for fiscal year 2018 for the town of Penfield.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town board of the town of Penfield, having the 4th day of October 2017 commencing at 7 p.m., held a public hearing on the preliminary budget for fiscal year beginning 2018. Whereas all requirements of Article 102 through 104 of the New York State Town Law for preparation and adoption of general highway and library budgets have been met. Now therefore be it resolved that the final budgets for general highway, library fund, and special district be and the same hereby adopted as annual budgets for fiscal year beginning January 2018. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion.
Real quickly, Mr. Supervisor, and I apologize, I've got a nasty cough going. So I just wanted to take a couple minutes and commend you for putting together this budget every year. I know you and your staff, your finance director, Barbara, spend a lot of time putting this together. I know I've spoken to some of the department heads. Barbara and I have had numerous conversations about this particular budget, and we on behalf of the board, would like to thank you for coming in with a budget that does not raise the property tax rate here in the town of Penfield for the 3rd straight year. Excuse me. The property tax rate of $2.69, when we look at all 19 towns throughout Monroe County, ranks as the 4th lowest in Monroe County. And I just want to point out a couple bits of information on that. When you look at the lowest tax rate in Monroe County for towns, it's Riga. Riga has 0 taxes, town taxes. That's because they have the mill seat landfill, which basically provides the revenue for the town to have no town taxes. The second lowest is the town of Henrietta. And obviously, as we all know, with Henrietta, you have a lot of industrial and commercial development in that area along Jefferson Road and some of the other roads in that general vicinity. And that's fine, but that's not really what Penfield is looking to do. The 3rd lowest town taxes is the town of Perrington. And if you look at Perrington, a lot of people don't know Perrington has a landfill, the High Acres landfill, which also contributes financially to the town budget, which allows them to have a low town tax. And then 4th comes Penfield at $2.69. So if you take Riga out of the picture, if you take Perrington out of the picture, and you take Henrietta out of the picture, town of Penfield, in my opinion, would almost come in first as having the lowest town taxes of all 19 towns in Monroe County. So I think that says a lot about your leadership over the years and working with the town budget director. I know Barbara puts out this great chart every year that we do this budget. It's a pie chart that shows your total property tax bill as a resident in Penfield. And when you look at that, I think it's a real telling story. It shows 68% of your total property taxes is your school district taxes, something that this board has nothing to do with. That 68% of your total property tax is your school district taxes controlled by the school board. Then about 24% of your taxes is controlled by Monroe County. And then at 8% is the responsibility of this body, the Penfield Town Board. So that's 8% out of your total property tax this board is responsible for. So if you're looking at an average, let's just say your tax bill in the town of Penfield would be $10,000 a year. That's $800 that this town is responsible for of that total property tax bill. And so I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people ask questions about that. And it's just a very telling story about who is responsible for your property taxes. This body is responsible for 8% of your total property tax. When I look at also at the budget, I think it's pretty clear that we are funding the different departments, whether it's the recreation department and the phenomenal job that they do here in Penfield under the leadership of Chris Bilo. I mean, by far, the Penfield Recreation Department today is in much better standing than it has been at any point at any time. Recreation programs for adults, for seniors, for our youth are an all-time high as far as participation goes, and also the amount of recreation programs offered, I believe, is up near maybe 1,000 recreation programs throughout the year. And that's quite phenomenal when you think about the town and everything that's going on in the town. And that ranges from coordinating soccer to coordinating, judo and swimming. And this coming Saturday, we have the Halloween event or the Christmas event or any of the, the amphitheater series concerts for jazz and for children. All of that, the 4th of July events, the fireworks, the parade, all of that is all good stuff that we have in the town under the recreation department. And certainly the highway department. Equipment gets used time and time again. Some of the equipment, I believe, Mr. Supervisor, you've told me, can be up near 20 years old, 18 years old, and that needs to be replaced. And so with Eric Tate, our new highway director, public works director, looking at this equipment, making the decision on how much we're spending every year in repairing that equipment compared to purchasing new. They weigh those decisions every single day, all the time. And we are making some new equipment purchases that in the long run will save this town money. Our bond rating is one of the highest you can have under Moody's Investors. I believe there's roughly about 22 different investment rankings, and the town of Penfield's credit rating is one of the best that it can be for a town municipality. I believe it is the second or third highest, Mr. Supervisor?
Second highest.
Second highest that it could be. And that's a credit to the leadership of you, the finance director here in the town, and this board taking fiscal responsibility very seriously. I will be supporting this budget. I think it's a good budget. I think it's a fair budget. I would be remiss if I didn't congratulate Bunny, our library director. She's in attendance today. Library services are top-notch among Monroe County. I know the supervisor talks to other supervisors about their library programs and other programs going on in the town, and certainly Bunny and her leadership there with the library board is superior, and it is recognized throughout Monroe County. So Bunny, I thank you for your leadership. I believe that circulation and attendance in the library keeps reaching record numbers. I know I'm there quite a bit. My wife and my kids, my 10-year-old, my 8-year-old are there all the time, particularly in the winter. And it's a fabulous facility, and you do a great job. So with that, I will be supporting this budget. I think it's fair. I think it's good. And that's where my vote will be when roll call is made. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments?
Well, I can't really top what Andy says. He every year, he's great at explaining reasons why we support the budget, and I echo everything he said, and I thank the town supervisor for all his diligence and work to keep our tax rate flat, and of course Barbara, excellent always getting everything together. I know she wasn't here, she was ill for the presentation for the tentative budget, but, he did a really good job in your place, Barbara. And the explanation of the budget is very helpful, too, because, the public, everybody understands what's going on, and it's a positive story to tell. And we're very proud of it, and I'm proud to support the budget. And, Paula?
I have a few words. Actually, I certainly agree with my colleagues and thank the department heads and Barbara and Supervisor LaFountain for once again spending months to come to arrive to where we are tonight. I would like to say a few words just about transparency, and we hear the word transparency a lot when it comes to government, and sometimes it's not used in a very positive way. I think transparency here in Penfield is certainly very positive, and it goes far beyond just a website and documents on a website, online presence, and website content. transparency within the town of Penfield here, the town hall is active every day with our department heads, our supervisor's office, everyone having essentially an open door policy to answer questions when it comes to budget items. I know that leading up to the presentation for the budget, Barbara Chirto, our finance director, makes herself available while she's doing her daily work of arriving at this budget and working with department heads. She makes herself available for residents to answer questions, as does the supervisor. And I think it's just very important to note that here in the town of Penfield, we are incredibly transparent, particularly when it comes to this most important vote that we cast every year on the town budget. So I certainly will be supporting it as well, and knowing firsthand the hard work that has gone into it, I appreciate all the hard work and the attention to detail throughout the town hall.
Thank you. So I will just add just a couple of final comments before I call for the question. And I would just like to, again, thank all of our department heads and Barbara, our controller. I'm just the guy that gets everybody together. It's all of them that really make it happen. We are so fortunate to have the professionals that we do within the town of Penfield. They know their business, they know their departments, they know their customers, and when all that comes together, it makes it real easy for the supervisor's office to just join in and support them anyway. Be that blocker for them when they need to have any items moved so that they can do the good work that they do each and every day. So my hat's off to our department heads and Barbara for all the hard work. You make my job a lot easier, and I thank you for that. So with that, and seeing no further comments, excuse me, I'll ask for a roll call vote on the 2018 budget.
Cole? Aye. LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
4 ayes.
And I'll say that to Barbara, now we have to knuckle down for the 2018 budget and head into work early tomorrow. So with that, we'll move on to the next resolutions.
Okay, Mr. Supervisor, before we continue, I'm not scared of much, but I have a great fear of bees, and there is a bee on my water bottle, and I can't go on without it being dead. I'll handle this.
Okay.
Good. Go, Paul. I really have a big fear.
See, that's a lemon in there, right? Maybe he
Lemon
likes
and
the
lime,
lemon.
but I just can't.
If we had somebody from code enforcement in the house, maybe we could have that addressed, regardless of what town they hail from.
I
All right.
apologize for the interruption.
Not a problem. We want to keep everyone safe, and we'll continue to do that, and we'll take just a few seconds here, and then we'll resume our law and finance, and we'll start with Resolution 185 when Councilwoman Metzler is back in. Above and beyond the call of duty.
Safety first.
Thank you, Paula. You're my hero.
No bees were harmed in this. It should be flying over the mulch pile momentarily.
All right, very good.
Thank you very much. I
All
appreciate
right, we'll
it.
continue with our agenda.
Okay, budget amendments in the general fund.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the attendance at programs in the Recreation Department require an increase in appropriations for playground youth account and fees collected. Therefore be it resolved that the following 2017 budget amendment be approved. Ballet for $2,000, tennis for $1,900, special camps for $2,000, zoning fees $500, and miscellaneous revenue for $10,000. Appropriations to ballet $2,000, tennis $1,900, special camps $2,000, legal notice $500, and parks maintenance $10,000. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Discussion. See no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole?
Aye.
LaFountain?
Aye.
Metzler?
Aye.
Moore?
Aye.
4 ayes. 2017 budget transfers for recreation and parks.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the Recreation Director requests a budget transfer of funds from the Recreation Administration account to the Programs for Aging account and a transfer from special events contractual level to special events salary level. Whereas the town board desires to have an up-to-date budget in relation to current income and expenditures. Therefore, the transfers are approved. Excuse me. Administration Rec Aid, $4,000. Events, $500. Pump repair, $20,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole. Aye. LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler. Aye. Moore.
Aye.
4 ayes. Authorize the town supervisor to enter into an agreement for auditing services.
Moved.
Second.
Whereas the town of Penfield engages professional auditing services in development of the town's annual audits from Bonadio Company LLP. Whereas the town has received an up-to-date engagement letter from Bonadio to continue to provide fiscal services, to provide services for fiscal year 2017, 2018, and 2019. Be it resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute and accept said letter upon review and approval by the Penfield Town Attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion. See no discussion, roll call vote, please.
Cole. Aye. LaFountain.
Aye.
Metzler.
Aye.
Moore.
Aye.
4 ayes.
We'll move on to old business. Any old business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, is there any new business to come before the board? Again, seeing none, this brings us to our second public participation. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board on any matter? Okay, seeing none. The next meeting of this board legislative session will be November 1st at 2017 at 7 p.m. in this room. There being no further business, this meeting stands adjourned at 7:48 p.m. Thank you to everyone that participated, and thank you to PCTV.